One, despite getting a season-low points from SGA, OKC won the game by 51, the largest Game 1 victory in NBA history. In fact, their 131 points tied the third most in a playoff game, while their 36 assists and 17 made threes tied the second most. And Big Perk thinks OKC sent a message to the league. Take a listen.
On a night where SGA didn't have his MVP-type performance, they still smoked them by 50. And when I look at Oklahoma City, it's no drop-off nowhere defensively. No matter if they're making or missing shots, they're going to slide those puppies on the perimeter. Also showed the world a lot about their depth to the non-believers. My biggest takeaway was the message that OKC sent to the rest of the Western Conference that we're here and we're standing on business.
Carlos, we had a lot of blowouts yesterday. I was watching this, but then I couldn't change the channel because you wanted to see how bad it was going to get, even though it was absolutely brutal. Did the Thunder's 51-point win say more about OKC to you or the Grizzlies?
OKC for me. I thought they wanted to send a message. I agree with Big Perk. I think they came out phenomenally defensively. I think Memphis probably didn't have enough time to properly prepare for OKC, just to give them something in their corner. However, OKC took care of business. Yeah, 6 guys in double figures. You hold this team to, 17% shooting from the three, 34 from the floor. Just a phenomenal defensive effort by the OKC Thunder.
Yeah, look, I don't think the message. I think everybody knows that OKC Thunder are good. They have one of the best records. They have the West. They won the West. They have probably had the West sold up by January 1st. By New Year's, they were going to be the #1 seed in the Western Conference. But when you get Ja, he had 17 points, but it was an inefficient 17. You get Jaren Jackson that doesn't really show up. Those were 2 guys that you really needed, and Desmond Bane. Your 3 best players don't give you much. Well, that's what you can expect. And you know how it is, Booze. You get into these playoff games and you're on the road, and all of a sudden the crowd gets into it, and it seems like every shot that goes up for the home team goes into the basket. And if it goes to 10, it goes to 15, 20, 30, 40, there's nothing you can do. I'd have came out in the half and say, "Hey, guys, just go ahead and stay over here. We're not going to get back in this game. Let's just, take this butt cutting like men, regroup, and be able to come back out here in a couple of days and try to get a win and go back 1-1. But it didn't send no statement to me, because I remember, Stephen A., you're old enough to remember. You remember the Memorial Day Massacre? When I think the Celtics beat the Lakers by what, 40? Yeah. Didn't mean anything. It's one win. And I understand it's a very lopsided win, and you don't want to be on the end of it, a lopsided loss, but it's one. Those points don't carry over. It's not like it's not like OKC is going to pick up and get 50-plus points. We didn't put our best effort forward, but I expect them to come out and play a lot better. Not to say they're going to win, but I'm not going to overreact to one game.
Well, they've smoked Memphis in all 5 meetings they've had against them this year by 13 points or more in every single win. So they've got their number, particularly this year. We get that part, number one. Number two, Memphis, even though they put themselves in their predicament and they don't deserve any sympathy cards from it, from a reality standpoint, they did play a play-in game Friday night, which was the nightcap, no pun intended, the last game that night. And then they got the first game on Sunday morning. I mean, it's like, damn, y'all, you couldn't give them a few extra hours for crying out loud. That is true. But then there's the other thing that we got to pay attention to. The front line of Chet Holmgren and these boys. You got Chet Holmgren, okay, and Jalen Williams. I'm looking at them, even though he's not on the really front line. But you got Chet Holmgren, Isaiah Hartenstein, and these cats. Jaren Jackson Jr. and Zach Edey, 4 points. 4 points each? Come on, man. You got to do better than that. That's pathetic. All right? And I love Jaren J. I love Triple J. But you got to do better than that, okay? Here's where I'm going with this. And let me say this. And put Bulls and Shannon up on the screen, please, because I want to see if they agree with me just with the nodding of the head. When people were making all of this noise about Ja Morant and his signs when he made a shot or whatever, all I said was, look, the league, I think it was much ado about nothing. Leave the kid alone. He's a star in this league. Let's see this brother playing. Let's stop bothering him. But the league says these are the rules. All right, follow the rules, Ja, so you don't have to draw their attention, right? So I just try to throw that off and I shove that aside. Here's what I'm not going to veer attention away from. You lost by 51. Y'all down 50 and you on the bench laughing? Nah, I don't want to see that. I don't think anybody in Memphis wants to see that. And why do I bring that up? Because when the Lakers closed them out, Shannon, a couple of years back, you remember this, when Dylan Brooks ticked off LeBron, and LeBron went and put on a show and sent them home, and they was blowing them out by 40 at Crypto. Ja Morant was smiling then. I know the brother is an elite competitor. I know he's a star. But people don't want to see you laughing when you getting your ass kicked like that. You know what I'm saying? You want to see somebody ticked off, especially if you're a fan, because you're emotionally invested. And at that particular moment, it gives you questions. It provides a question mark for you as to whether or not that cat's invested. You got vacation plans already? Because let me tell you something, that ass kicking that Oklahoma City gave to you, all right, it doesn't show any signs of letting up. They may not beat you by 50, but it is not beyond the realm of comprehension that they could smoke you by 20 or 30 the rest of the way if y'all don't get y'all act together. You do not want to see the superstar for your team on the bench losing by 50 with a smile on his face. That's all I'm saying.
I agree.
I thought it was worth. I'm sorry, fellas. That's just how I feel, and fans that I know feel that way too, for the most part.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah. The optics, not
I agree.
okay. All right, guys, when we come back on First Take, we will switch gears to the NFL. It's finally draft week. Could Shedeur Sanders be the third quarterback off the board, and how big of a mistake would that be? Dan Orlovsky will join us for that. The Lakers are going to have to win 4 straight.
AAA and WA, I don't care what Shannon has to say, Lakers ain't winning in 5. So let's start, Marcus, with your thoughts on how well that rhymed. And secondly, I will ask you that ever-popular question. Was this a bad game or a bad sign, Marcus Morris, for the Lakers?
I would say just a bad game, right? The others just didn't come to play. Anytime you get 48 points from Jaden McDaniels and Naz Reid, something wasn't right in that scouting report, right? I just don't think guys were just amping up to play. You're playing at home in Crypto Arena. You just have to have more energy, like offensive rebounding, diving on the floor. The best bright part about it was Luka came to play, right? We've seen the Luka dominance, and LeBron James, we know how effective he could be in this series, but the others have to play better, and not just making shots, but just with more energy, more aggressiveness, and better on the defensive end.
Well, you're not the only one who noticed that the aggressiveness didn't seem to be there. Let's put up the Magic tweet, because Magic Johnson, one of the greatest Lakers of them all, and obviously still so much a part of what they're doing in L.A., tweeted, Coach J.J. Redick did a great job all season, but he didn't do a good job for Game 1. The Lakers stood around on offense, played too much one-on-one basketball, and he didn't make any necessary adjustments. Booz, when you see a team that got beat to the loose ball, is that on the coach? Do you point the finger of blame, at least for Game 1, at J.J. Redick?
I mean, the coach's job is to get the guys prepared for the game. Once you're on the court, it's the player's job. In my opinion, the players got to make the plays. The coach is going to put you in position to have success, and get you prepared for the game. But if I see a ball on the floor and it's you and me, Greeny, I'm getting the ball. Sorry, right. Greeny. That's got to be the attitude of the guys out there on the court. Yes.
Well, if it's you and me, I'm not really worried about it. I would bet on you, too. But in general, when it's one NBA player against another NBA player, I mean, if the Timberwolves, quote unquote, well, if they looked ready for playoff intensity and the Lakers didn't, is that a bad sign?
That could be a sign on the coach. Did you have your guys ready for the game tonight? Minnesota looked ready. The Lakers did not.
Right. That's the concern. So, Marcus, give me one adjustment. What's one thing the Lakers have to do differently or better to win Game 2? Otherwise, they are in big trouble in round 1.
You have to respect the others. You know, like I said, 48 points from 2 guys that's not named Anthony Edwards is unacceptable, right? You have to play these guys straight up and down. But also, listen, they did differently in the regular season. This is the playoffs. Everything goes out the window. Scouting report goes out the window. You have to come out. You have to guard your yard. You have to play hard. You just have to match the intensity. So the one thing I would say is be ready. Be ready to fight.
We're going to find that out. Meanwhile, Friday, we've got a trio.
And right now, when affordability matters most, Hyundai is committed to keeping our prices the same, with no increase to MSRP. And not just on a few of our vehicles, all of them. That's the Hyundai way.
My kids can't hide anything from me. I'm home. Especially when they've been using toilet paper that doesn't hold up.
Alright, whatever. Okay. Let me cover this. So did y'all see this? So apparently there's this guy, some random guy. He walked up on DeMar DeRozan, and I think he was trying to troll him. But he ended up getting attacked and body slammed or slapped by. He says this is his tweet. He says I just got attacked and body slapped by DeMar DeRozan.
Tiếp tục mắc vào nha mọi người. Chúng lần phiên từng mũi. Mắc lại một chút kiểu như này. Mắc tiếp này. Nữa này. Mắc lần lượt từng mũi rồi đó. Tiếp đi mọi người.
And even though nobody knows exactly where we'll see quarterbacks.
Bro, the level just started and we're already getting overrun. I gotta take these guys out and build this crossbow tower as fast as possible.
Back to Sanders next season. We do know he ain't hard to find. He also apparently hasn't.
FC Dunk it bucket. Now anyone can dunk.
Tiếp tục mắc rồi đó.
With 3 sauces, fries, new mashed potato poppers, and original recipe tenders. Dunk for $7 or get enough to share for $25.
Nên là sẽ đổi sang cái phần lưỡi chai thông thường này. Đây mọi người móc cho mình cứ từng mũi một nhé. Móc khoảng 1/3 cái vành mũ là được. Không móc một nửa nhé, một nửa là hơi bị nhiều đấy. Mọi người móc cái lưỡi chai thì khoảng 1/3 thôi. Móc lại cái mũi này một chút. Đây. Mình móc vào. Tiếp tục nha mọi người. Cứ lần lượt từ mũi cho đến khi được cái đường viền nổi như thế này. Tiếp nha. Mũi tiếp theo này. Đấy, mọi người cứ làm lần lượt thế này cho mình là được. Mình tiếp tục mình móc. Đây. Thêm một mũi nữa nha là sẽ dừng. thêm một mũi nữa. Ok rồi. Đây nó sẽ vuông góc nha. Đây này, mình móc mũi nổi thì cho nó vuông góc. Cắt cái dây đỏ đi cho nó đỡ vướng, nhìn cho nó dễ. Rồi. Đây nha mọi người. Cái phần vành này nó vuông góc với cái phần chóp mũ. Bây giờ mình sẽ móc cho nó dài thêm ra. Móc dài thêm ra. Nói chung là cái lưỡi chai thì móc độ dài tùy ý nhé. Cũng không có một cái quy chuẩn gì cả đâu. Lưỡi chai ngắn hoặc dài tùy